Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are back with another weekly wears video. I do one of these videos every single Monday. I go over my rotation, all 7 fragrances that I wore all 7 days last week. We are on the road to 5K, 5,000 subscribers. So do you want to be a part of it? I'd love you to be. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, turn on bell notifications so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But without further ado, let's jump right into it, starting with Sunday. This week, I really wanted to sort of highlight with the warmer weather starting to show its face a bit, at least around where I am in New England, the Boston area. I wanted to highlight fragrances that are inexpensive and really fantastic transitional fragrances from the hells of the winters here into the springtime. So these are going to be fantastic spring fragrances, inexpensive, and just overall bangers. So on Sunday was no exception. I grabbed this one. This one is not talked about, and I would say arguably these are all underrated as well. So this is gonna be a good list. Sunday, I decided to go with You Wow Fresh. This is an awesome cheapie, as I said, that nobody talks about. I was lucky enough to find this at a Burlington, but you can find it for roughly the same price that I paid online. I'll be sure to link it down below. Amazing violet leaf that gives this scent its personality. Has this airy quality to it, these airy aromatics that is almost like walking through a garden right after a rainstorm. Really mood enhancing scent that's super aromatic, uplifting, fresh, just slightly sweet with hints of vanilla. And there's ambroxan in here to help push all this. Last a good amount of time for a fragrance that is altogether a light, airy scent with this herbal quality that reminds me of like a tall glass of iced tea. Again, an underrated spring gem with decent longevity. I really enjoy this one. I think you guys should try this. Perfect transitional scent from winter to spring. You Wow Fresh. This next one has drawn comparisons to fragrances like Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle, the OG. You guys all know which one I'm talking about. Has drawn comparisons to that. However, I think this is different in a lot of ways. Harder to find, can still be found, usually on eBay, for more than what I paid. But to me, it's worth it because this is a great scent, underrated, that you probably haven't heard of before. Scent I'm talking about is Rocco Baracco's Extraordinary. As I said, this does remind you a bit of Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle. However, the only comparison to that for me is in the mint and vanilla aspects of the scent. Great atomizer. This adds an earthy patchouli, this spicy saffron that is almost cinnamon-like, and it's deep and rich and amazing. Really unique fragrance, different than other things I have in my collection. Can come across a bit mature, not a bad thing. I consider myself a mature guy, so it's put together in that sense. Great performer that will last, really ideal for every season. However, seasons like fall and spring, we have maybe some varying weather where you are, maybe you have some rain. It's cooler one day, warmer the next. This is going to be ideal. Again, beautiful transitional scent. I will try to link this down below. I've only seen it on eBay. However, this does pop up from time to time at Burlington, which is where I got my bottle, for under 15 bucks. Absolute steal. Rocco Baracco Extraordinary. This next one, no exception to this list. Another underrated, under-talked about hidden gem that some of you love because I've talked about this on the channel quite a bit, and it's even some of you guys' favorite fragrance, and I can see why. Scent I'm talking about is Issey Miyake's L'Odyssée Pour Homme Intense. This does take aspects of the OG L'Odyssée Pour Homme, really with that bitter, slightly sweet yuzu note, that signature for Issey Miyake. This is one of the more unique fresh fragrances that I've smelled. It's very dry, very spicy, has a bit of a warmth to it, but still aquatic and uplifting and bright, and that citrus up top is amazing. But what really adds mystery to this scent and upscaleness is the addition of the incense. Now, the addition of that incense along with the spice, I think they work wonderfully together. However, it is going to make this scent more polarizing, maybe divide some people in terms of if you like a fresh, aquatic, citrusy scent, you're getting that from this. However, you're also getting these balanced spice and smokiness to this as well. I wouldn't consider this one blind buy safe. If you can try it, try it. But at the same time, it's not very expensive. And if you want to smell unique, you don't want to smell like everyone else, I would start with this. Really good performance, really high quality smelling. Nothing cheap about this. Although the bottle, this size, and this is 125 ml, is dirt cheap and worth every penny. L'Odyssée Pour Homme Intense from Issey Miyake. So Missoni Parfum Pour Homme gets a lot of love from me on this channel as being probably the best blue fragrance under $45 in my collection. I consider that one an absolute must own. For many guys, it's a replacement to something like a Bleu de Chanel, although I think that one stands on its own. I've talked about that one plenty on the channel. This is my second favorite blue fragrance overall in terms of value. So this thing is even cheaper than the Missoni, but it doesn't smell cheaper. Scent I'm talking about is Dunhill Century Blue. There's something really effortless, calming, relaxing about this scent. Could be the use of lavender in here. Just everything feels right. I like the bottle. I like the weight of the bottle. Has a nice magnetic cap. Really sweet and bright in the air. Again, my favorite bargain basement blue. Can really be found pretty much everywhere. Dirt cheap. I'm going to link it down below for you guys. Through probably the Perfume Spot if they have it in stock. Perfume Spot, if you guys have not checked them out, incredible site. They have a ton of fragrances for dirt cheap, fast shipping. They're awesome to deal with. This is comparable to something like a Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue. This is far less powdery to my nose, has similar sweetness, and the smells of higher quality to me. Not that the Acqua Essenziale Blue smells cheap necessarily. This just smells way more expensive than it actually is. The reason I consider this a perfect springtime blue is because of the addition of the iris in here, which the iris in here adds more of an earthiness than anything else. It's not very floral. Doesn't smell like boiled carrots, which some people get from iris, which I like in some fragrances, but no, it just adds this earthy edge to this that you don't get in many blue fragrances. Many blue fragrances just smell clean, shower gel fresh. This adds a little earthiness to it, making it unique and really, again, just packed with value. Average performer, I wouldn't say below average. Becomes really woody in the dry down with that remaining sweetness. I love this one, Dunhill Century Blue. So this next one is a flanker of probably the most popular fragrance, one of the most popular fragrances in the 90s. This is a recent flanker to that. There's a million flankers, so you probably already have some idea of what line of fragrances I'm talking about. First time I tried this, I was not crazy about it. It reminded me too much of another popular high-end designer fragrance. I was wrong. The dry down of this fragrance is my favorite part. Scent I am talking about is Davidoff's Cool Water, Grapefruit, and Sage. As I said, I thought this smelled a little bit too much like EDP because of its use of sage, but I was wrong. It changes. It changes quite a bit from when you first put this on. My understanding of this is it's a limited edition. Smells clean and fresh. There's definitely lavender in here. There's definitely a lot of ambroxan. And I don't necessarily get grapefruit from this. The sage is really well done. Adds this fresh, earthy brightness to this, slightly green. But as I said in the intro, my favorite part of this is the dry down. It becomes musky, creamy. I don't know what's making it so creamy smelling to me. It's almost like a milkiness to this, all underlined with this sharpness, and that sharpness really just makes this remain sort of invigorating, an invigorating scent, which is why I think it will work so beautifully in the springtime. Yeah, I'm just happy to have it in the collection because this now is probably my favorite flanker aside from Parfum, which I really like. And it does, some aspects of this remind me of Parfum. I think it's just the way the Ambroxan is used. But this is unique in its own right because of that dry down. And it lasts all day. Although it sits closer to the skin, that dry down is there and smells amazing. Definitely check out Davidoff's Cool Water, Grapefruit, and Sage. This next one that I wore on Friday was just kindly sent to me by a subscriber who has become a friend, and shout out to him. He knows who he is. Really happy to have this in the collection and humbled that he would send it to me because it's one of his favorites. Super underrated, not talked about enough. Incredible fragrance overall. Scent I'm talking about is Brioni's EDP Intense. Great atomizer. Nice, satisfying magnetic cap, which you guys know I love. This has a fruity, fresh, earthy, creamy vibe. It has apple, it has saffron, and it has vanilla, adding that sweet creaminess to this. It comes across as like a smooth suede. This thing is buttery smooth, amazing, so well blended. It's velvety. There's some woodiness in here as well. I want to say oud is a listed note. I'm not sure. However, I don't necessarily get oud specifically, but I do get a rich, deep wood, and it adds to the upscaleness of this scent, making this feel less casual and more dressed up, more special event. Just feels super classy and like you know what you're doing. You're gonna smell put together. You're gonna be noticed. I would imagine this is a compliment getter because it's not overly complex. It utilizes those notes that I talked about, the saffron, the apple, and the vanilla, and it blends them beautifully, coming across as a smooth suede effect and just a stunning scent overall. Lasts all day. Although it does sit close to the skin, lasts a long time. Great evening out scent, in my opinion. Brioni EDP Intense. Finally, on Saturday, I reached for this scent. Again, keeping to the theme. Great springtime fragrances. This one of you guys had mentioned on a video that I had done, really my first impressions of this scent. And this was another bottle sent to me by a subscriber. So again, so appreciative of receiving this. You guys are amazing. Best supporters, best subscribers in the game, bar none. And just, I'm super pumped and happy to have this community growing. But this scent, this person that had mentioned it on the video that I did said they didn't get any performance from it. They oversprayed. They got into a car with their friends and nobody in the car smelled them either. I have to believe that that is just a bad bottle they got, a bad batch, because this thing is a monster on me. Scent I'm talking about is Anna Abiyedh from Latafa. Now this one might be too feminine for some. It has a pear note in here, so it has this real fruity, sharp, slightly metallic opening with heavy musk and vanilla. That's it. Again, not an overly complex scent. Much like the Brioni, it utilizes 3 elements that are really pronounced, turned up to 10. Everything in here is turned up to 10, which is also why I get such great performance, mainly in its sillage, its scent bubble that it creates. You're gonna smell great. I would love to smell this on someone else. I'd love to smell this on a woman, but also I like it on me. When I put it on me, I get more vanillic, woody vibes from it. When I spray this in the air, it's very fruity, very musky. Reminds me of other things. Reminds me of something like a Mancera Sicily or a Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, the woman's formulation of that. So it's similar in vein to those fragrances, but beast mode performance, this thing, again, just projects like a monster. I think this would be fantastic for springtime, just as the weather starts to warm up. And I think this is a great summertime night out fragrance. You're going to grab attention with this. Guys, I think that you should give this a chance because it's one of those fragrances where it blends that sweetness, that freshness, that fruitiness, that muskiness that I think women are going to love on a guy. So they might smell it and be like, I would wear that, but I also like how it smells on you. That's what this does for me. Great scent. And to that person that's not getting the performance I suggested to them, try to get your money back and try to get a different bottle. Maybe use another online discounter wherever you grabbed it. I'm going to link this down below, but definitely I think it's the bottle because this thing, monster, absolute beast. Lattaf's Ana Abiyedh. That's all I have today, guys. As always, let me know in the comment section down below what your weekly rotation was. Always love knowing what you guys are wearing. If you guys like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.